Hello students, I Professor Pooja Patel from TSSM Livrabai Sawant College of Engineering and Research Naripur. I am associate with Computer Engineering Department of Institute. In this video, I am going to talk about laboratory practice second for final year students. It is related to the elective subject, that is software testing and quality assurance. In this laboratory practice, we have to develop one mini project. For that purpose, I have designed different assignments for you so you can understand the basic concepts of that. From that, assignment number 4, title of assignment is Write test cases for email login by using a manual testing. Learning objective is understand how to write a test cases for email login using a manual test casing. Outcome will be after the completion of assignment, students will able to implement test cases for email login using a manual testing. Some are the theory concepts related to our assignment is test case, which is nothing but a document with user action and expected result. Test cases are set of positive and negative executable steps of test scenario which has a set of precondition, test data, expected results, post condition and actual result. So there is a difference between a test case and scenario. Test scenario which will represent or which will give the idea of what we have to test. For an example, verify the login functionality of Gmail account. Some are the basic rules for writing a test cases are, first one is Excel sheet. Means what? Test cases are normally written in Excel sheet, but you can write it in also Notepad Word. But in Excel sheet, it will be easier to understand, also to implement. Second one is a naming convention. It follows naming convention, so we have to provide a unique ID for that. It is easier to understand and implement. Test cases should be a simple. Next one is the valid test cases and invalid test cases. Suppose whenever we write a test cases, we make sure that we have to develop valid and invalid data which is dependent on the requirement that we have providing for that test cases. Suppose I am taking an example of email login which are providing with the correct username and password, then it should pass or it should log in with correct username and password. And suppose if I am providing with the invalid data, then it should reject that test cases. So here it is a valid test cases and invalid test cases. Next one, here is a simple test case template format for how to write a test cases. For that purpose, we need to write a test cases for a particular module. So we need a project name and a module name. Next one is the reference document. If suppose we are referring from any path or anything else. Next one is created by. Here I am taking example from the one side. So I have given it. Then date of creation and date of preview. Now we will understand particular column and the particular row and its meaning. First one is the test case ID. First one is the test case ID, means what? Each test case should be represented by a unique ID. Second one is the test scenario or the test case description, which will describe the test cases properly from the test scenarios, that what we have to do actually and what we have to test. Next one is the test case which will define the test cases properly from the test scenarios. Next one is the preconditions. That is nothing but conditions that need to be met before executing a particular test cases. Next one is the test steps. We have to execute the test cases and we have to perform some action based upon that. So we have to do a test steps in detail and we have to follow it. Next one is the expected result. Sorry, before that there is a test data. So we have to provide a proper test data to execute a particular test steps, and we have to gather all the appropriate test data. Next one is the expected result. The result which we expect once if the test cases we have to execute it. Next one, post conditions. Conditions that need to achieve when the test case was successfully executed. Last second is actual result. In actual result, in which the system shows once the test case was executed and what we capture the result after the execution it will be shows. And the last one is the status. It will finally state the status. It may be a pass or it may be a failure. Let me show you simple test case and I am writing in Excel sheet. Just a second. I'm writing in Excel sheet, but every company use its own template to write a particular test case. The fields required by writing a test cases are different, and we need to write a proper test cases for a particular module name, and we required some are the project name and the module name. Here it is. Project name, second field is module name, next one reference document, next one is the created by, date of creation, date of review, now I'm going to take next field as a test case ID. Next one is the test scenario. Next, test case description. Next one is the precondition. Precondition is necessary while we are executing the particular test case. After that, test steps. Next, we require test data, which will show positive and some are the negative test cases. Next one is the expected result. Next field has a post conditions, which will show our actual result after executing a test case. Next field is the actual result. Next, status, that will shows test is a pass or fail. Now we have to sort out it. I will take it as horizontally. Yes. Now our project name is, here it is, Google email. Next one, our module name is login. Reference document from if any, I have taken it from the site created by me own. Date of creation, that will show the date, month and year. You can write it this format. So I will give a today's date. Date of review. If anyone, it will be reviewed by our team lead or any peers team. So test case ID, here it is, test case ID is for login page. That I am giving it as a 01. Test scenario is verify the login of Gmail. So this is my test scenario. For that particular test scenario, I am giving a test description. I am considering one test case that I am enter valid username and valid password. This is for okay. Then there's a precondition for entering the valid username and password, that we need a valid Gmail account to do a login. Need a valid Gmail account to do login. Next one is a test. So I will do the first step is I will enter valid username Next step is I will enter password. Next, I will click on login. button. So here the my steps for the first test scenario, that is the verify the login of the Gmail. Then test data. In previous slide I have told you that test data should be a valid. So I have to enter the valid username and valid password. Username and valid password. So my expected result will be a successful login. It will shows our Gmail login screen. Post condition for particular scenario is Gmail inbox will be shown. Will be shown. In actual result, we will got our Gmail inbox screen and it will be a pass. It is the same as it is. So everyone understood the first one is the scenario, first test case, that is the verify the login of the Gmail. So second way is this is the positive test case because I'm providing with the valid data. Next one is for the negative test cases. So I'm taking the one example is the same as it is. I'm test case ID providing for that. Just changing the scenario. Scenario is also same. Verify the login of Gmail. Next, I'm changing the test case description. Means I'm entering the valid user name and invalid password. Invalid password. So for that, precondition is nothing but we need a valid Gmail account to log in, same as it is. Steps are also same. Just the input we are providing with the test data, it will be a change. In that, I'm providing with the valid username and next one is the invalid password. So this test data will be provided while execution of our test case. In expected result, what we get, it will shows a message with that the our email and the password you have entered will not be a match. The message will be shown on the screen. The email and password you entered don't match. This message will be shown. post condition is same as it is, but it will reject and it will fail. So it is related to our negative test case. So here I am giving the some positive test case and negative test case. So you can take another example too, for same as it is for e-banking, for ATM. Just here you will change your project name and the model name, but you will follow the all steps as it is: test case ID, test scenario, test case description, precondition, test data, expected result, post condition, actual result, and status that will be fail or the pass.